Hey, we're live. What's going on, people? So we got some news that I just wanted to do a little impromptu live video on. Apparently, there's been some little bit of behind the scenes talk between Disney and 21st Century Fox about buying some of their shit. Now this is not like anything confirmed yet. Nobody, what's going on, guys? There's nobody like saying that this is a for sure deal or there's anything even close to a final deal. This is just initial negotiations, but why this is a big deal for a lot of reasons. Well, the things that they would be getting is like the rights to the first six Star Wars movies, which seems like it wouldn't be that big of a deal since they already make those movies, but maybe they can do the unedited versions of the first Star Wars trilogy on Blu-ray or something. That'd be cool. But the other side of it, which is what this video is about, is that like the superhero, the Marvel side. So Fox owns the rights to Fantastic Four and the X-Men. Now, as far as I'm concerned, Marvel can have Fantastic Four because obviously Fox doesn't know what the hell they're doing with it. They can have Doctor Doom. That'd be awesome to have those characters in the MCU. But I don't really want them taking X-Men for a really big reason why, and that's because Fox undoubtedly is the ballsiest and the most big risk takers as far as the superhero comic book film industry right now. They are. I mean, you got the MCU, which don't get me wrong, I love the MCU, but they are a very safe, formulaic comic book franchise. A lot of the films have a lot of the same themes, a lot of the same directions. You're not going to see a rated R MCU movie ever. You're not going to see a horror movie MCU movie ever. DCEU is taking a little bit more risks, but they're extremely inconsistent with it. They fail miserably with some and they succeed with some. But you got Fox. Now, say what you will about some of the X-Men movies. There's definitely some bad ones, but Fox gave us what I still think is the best movie this year, Logan, which is a wild, wild, wild ass comic book movie. Rated R, bloody, crazy, like a Western. Last year, my favorite movie was Deadpool. This raunchy ass, off the walls, rated R, hard rated R, like comic book comedy. Now you got the New Mutants coming out next year, which looks like a comic book hero, straight up horror movie. You're never going to see movies like that if Disney buys Fox. If they buy the Fantastic Four and the X-Men. I don't see them buying it and keeping everything that the Fox has been doing in some little secret, lab somewhere, making their own separate movies, but they can still use Wolverine and Cyclops and everybody in the Avengers movies. I don't see that happening. I see them yanking it, and we're going to get MCU-style X-Men movies and Fantastic Four movies. So, I don't want that. I don't want that. I love all the comic book movies that are coming out as far as the characters, the ways that they could go. I don't love every single one after they come out. I mean, obviously I was disappointed by some of the things that DCEU has done. I'm not losing my mind over what MCU is doing right now. I enjoyed Thor very much, but like Spider-Man Homecoming, I liked it, didn't love it. Doctor Strange, liked it, didn't love it. Basically their past 3 or 4 movies, I'm like, oh, that was pretty good. But the movies that Fox are making, I'm walking out of going like, that was incredible. Deadpool, loved it. Logan, blew my freaking mind. So I'm just a little bit worried about that. Now I'm actually going to go to the chat and see what you guys think about it. What do you think about the MCU having control over the X-Men and the Fantastic Four? Is this something you think that we need? Maybe they can do the Dark Phoenix saga, which they're getting ready to do anyway. But some big X-Men storylines in a different way that we've seen, maybe a better way that we've seen, or are you like me and you want the risk takers Fox keeping their properties? Because I want risky comic book movies to break up the monotony, because the MCU is great, the DCU hopefully will be great, but Fox is taking a lot of risks that are pretty much all paying off right now, and I don't want that getting messed with. So what do you guys think? Looking at the chat here. Fantastic Four, yes. X-Men, fuck no. That's pretty much exactly how I feel about it. They can have Fantastic Four all day long. All day long they can have Fantastic Four, because the Fantastic Four are characters that have not been anywhere close to good at Fox, and especially Doctor Doom. If they could just have Doctor Doom, that would be enough for me. They can do whatever they want with Doctor Doom. Maybe Matt Reeves' upcoming Batman film will be rated R. That would be freaking awesome. Maybe, but it'll never happen. It'll never happen. They'll never have a rated R Batman movie. I seriously, seriously doubt it. Maybe if the DCU, EU, or whatever the fuck they're calling it now, gets to the point to where Marvel is, where they can pretty much do whatever they want, you might see maybe a one-off, like a Dark Knight Returns or something like that, but I highly doubt it, because they're too focused on how much money they're going to make. They'd lose too much if it was rated R. But I would like to see it somewhat. Like I said, definitely certain Batman stories in the comics could be hard rated R and be awesome. X-Men I'm not too fussy about, honestly, now. Fantastic Four, yes. Okay, no, at least wait until Deadpool 2. That's the big thing. If Deadpool 2 comes out next year and The New Mutants comes out next year and they're both awesome, I definitely don't want any of that going over to the Marvel. If they both fail miserably, Deadpool 2 is a horrible sequel and The New Mutants is this big piece of trash, and then we get the X-Men Andromeda or whatever they're calling it and it's a huge disappointment, then I will definitely change my tune because that's going to be a huge disappointment. But right now, they got Deadpool, they got Logan. I am on an extreme upward high with Fox. I don't want them going anywhere. Yeah, we don't need that. They did okay with Star Wars, but Fox should just keep it. I agree. It'd be nice if they could just partner up and keep both. Yeah, you might be able to see a deal like Sony, but that's an extremely rare deal. The only reason that the whole Spider-Man deal happened was because Sony was in deep shit financially. They had the email leaks, they had a bunch of bombs, they were fucking up Spider-Man, which was their big cash cow, so they had to make that deal. Fox does not have to make that deal. They got the Planet of the Apes series, they got, I think they do the Harry Potter series, correct me if I'm wrong, but maybe that's Warner Brothers. I probably fucked that up. But anyway, Fox has a lot of money. They're not in any desperate situation to have to make a deal. So it would just be to appease Marvel, which they wouldn't do. Let me see. X-Men versus the Avengers. Maybe for a little one-off. Please take Fantastic Four. Yes. Good evening. What's up, Luis? Rated R for the new Joker film. I don't know. Did they confirm that it was rated R or not? Because I don't remember them saying that. Maybe they did. I remember it being a Martin Scorsese produced. I remember it being an origin story and set in the 80s. I don't remember them saying it was going to be rated R. But it's possible. But then again, that's like separate side story version of DCEU. The new things that they're talking about doing, like, we're going to have our cinematic universe, but then we're going to have little one-shots here and there. And that's what I'm talking about. You might see a rated R Batman or something like that in one of those little one-shots that have nothing to do with Justice League or Wonder Woman or anything like that. Did not hate the last Fantastic Four movie. You are among the very few, my friend. Totally cool if you liked it, though. I'm not saying that you shouldn't have liked it, but that movie was, whew, for me, it was rough. Even if it's not, Matt Reeves had some pretty hard PG-13 action with Dawn and War. Yeah, exactly. You could do a lot with PG-13. I mean, the Dark Knight trilogy from Christopher Nolan was all PG-13, and that shit was all pretty dark. So, rated R really just means that you can show blood, tits, and say fuck. That's about all a rated R rating gets for you. Maybe the Fantastic Four will be in the Captain Marvel movie, possibly. Just do it right. Don't fuck X-Men up. Yeah, exactly. Leave X-Men alone. Just want Fox to be in charge of the whole MCU. So you want everything to go over to Fox. That's interesting. Disney ruins everything like Spider-Man. Well, see, I don't know. I wouldn't say that they ruined Spider-Man. See, I enjoyed Spider-Man Homecoming, but I'm a big, big fan of the Sam Raimi trilogy. I know people don't like the third one. People even have some of their thoughts in the first two, but I love those damn movies. I grew up with them. They're among my favorite trilogies and superhero movies, so I missed elements of that. To me, this was kind of like Iron Man Jr. Spider-Man with all the jokey MCU and everything, but there was a great villain. There was a really good Spider-Man and Peter Parker, and a lot of elements I liked, but just things that, especially like some of the characters like Flash Gordon that were just kind of like, or Flash Thompson, not Flash Gordon. Totally different universe. Deadpool would suffer the most if this happens. Absolutely. Deadpool would cease to exist. You cannot have a PG-13 Deadpool. You cannot. To make it all family-friendly, over the top, yeah. Fantastic Four done the right way. Thing versus Hulk, Mr. Fantastic, and Tony Stark banner, it will make cash. Yes, so they can have Fantastic Four. That's exactly what I'm saying. No one else should be Wolverine. I don't know. See, that's hard. I think that Hugh Jackman is probably my favorite like superhero guy or actor playing a superhero ever. Like, people love Tony Stark and Robert Downey Jr. People love Captain America and Chris Evans, and I love them too. But like, Hugh Jackman playing Wolverine is on another level. So it's going to be extremely difficult to replace him, but it can be done. If they do it right, if they cast the right person, they put him in the right movie, it'll work. Found your channel weeks ago and you're great. Thanks a lot. Loved your ranking of the Child's Play films. Thank you. It was a lot of fun doing that. I love doing those rankings after I wrap up a series. Rated R Batman film would be awesome. What stories do you think they could use? Well, The Dark Knight Returns is the obvious pick for like a rated R one because that's a very dark, bloody story. I think you could do like The Long Halloween and make it kind of dark and gory. Or not necessarily gory, but you can make it dark and really grim to where you could almost push that rated R. Things like the Death in the Family. There's a lot of Batman storylines that are extremely dark that you could push the envelope on screen. No, not saying I like the last Fantastic Four movie, just saying I did not hate it. That's a little better. Kevin Feige wouldn't get rid of something that works like Deadpool and possibly New Mutants. It's not Kevin Feige's decision, really. I mean, he's in charge to a degree, but if Disney, the people who are lining the pockets of Kevin Feige and everybody, decide that they're going to line some money over there at Fox and buy the X-Men and buy the Fantastic Four, they're going to do what they want with X-Men and the Fantastic Four. They're not going to care at all about what Fox has built with the X-Men. As far as they're concerned, and really Fox doesn't have much to say as far as continuity anyway, as far as they're concerned, if they buy it, it's theirs. We're starting from fresh. You won't see Deadpool anymore. You'll see a whole new X-Men, a whole new cast, a whole new set of stories. You'll see Fantastic Four rebooted. I mean, it'll be a clean break from Fox. I guarantee you that. I love the third Spider-Man. I am with you. Despite its flaws, I love it. I want to see Fantastic Four done right. So do I. A little bit of a spoiler, but yes, I agree. Lil RP 2003, I agree. That was a really good moment in that movie, and it did catch me off guard. If Fox was in charge of the whole MCU, then maybe Spider-Man and Deadpool movie, that would be amazing. That would be interesting. I don't see it ever happening, but for like a little fan fiction idea, I'd watch it. To be honest, while I don't think the Fantastic Four movies were good, I can at least watch them more than some other films. They're not the worst things in the world, but they're not good, in my opinion. MCU Netflix shows are TVMA, and hopefully it will show up in a new Avengers film in BR. I don't see them ever crossing the Netflix with their movie properties, but stranger things have happened. Let's see. Spider-Man 3 is hated on so much, and I don't get it. Some people have legit reasons to not like it, and I understand them, like Venom being the biggest one. But for me, I think for the most part, it's just the popular thing to do. People hear Spider-Man 3 get trashed, so they decide that they're going to trash it too. Not speaking for everybody. Tom Hardy would be a good Wolverine. Tom Hardy would be good at anything. I could watch that guy for an hour and a half play a fucking pencil. I mean, he's awesome. I think a lot of the film producers are realizing that adults grew up with these characters, so an R rating is the way to go after Deadpool. You will definitely see a R-rated Batman in the next 2 years. I don't think so at all. Definitely not in the next 2 years. You'd be lucky to see the PG-13 one that they're working on in the next 2 years with the rate they're going. But the rated R thing, I don't think it has anything to do with them realizing there's this untapped potential with a rated R movie. I just think that somebody took a risk on it. They did Deadpool because Deadpool should be rated R. And it worked. It made an assload of money because the people that you can market that movie to, they marketed it brilliantly to, and it kicked ass. And then the same thing with Logan. They said, look, we got an idea where this needs to be rated R. People are going to like it. They marketed it well. The movie was amazing, and it worked out. I don't think that the rated R or the R rating on that was like the deciding factor of that, or like we have to make it rated R just because there's adults out there that'll come see it. I don't think it's like that. Love the channel. When are you going to rank Texas Chainsaw Massacre? I got to do my Texas Chainsaw 3D review. I'll probably get that out by the end of this week, and then I'll do my ranking shortly after that. This whole month I'm doing Patreon requests, so it's going to be a lot of different movies, a lot of different requests. I'm doing like Inception, I'm doing Demon Knight, I'm doing Maximum Overdrive, a lot of other things. So it's going to be a lot of kind of, not like a straight up franchise where I'm just pumping out sequels and doing a whole franchise review. It's going to be a lot of mixed things this month. So I got to get started on that immediately. So I'll try to get the Texas Chainsaw 3D and the ranking video out as soon as possible. Found your channel a couple days ago, catching up on your videos. Big fan of Nightmare on Elm Street and the Child's Play movies. Me too. Thank you. Welcome aboard. Huge jacked man is Logan. Yes, exactly. I think a Killing Joke live-action movie would be great if done right, but the animated one, in my opinion, was not done well. Well, see, I don't know how you could do it much different than the animated movie did, because the actual story of the Killing Joke is very short. The Killing Joke side of that animated movie was good, but it's everything that they padded into it to make it a full feature length that sucked. So I don't know. They'd have to incorporate the Killing Joke with another story, I think, to make it work. John Carpenter should continue the Halloween analogy in 2019. I think John Carpenter's going to be done after this next one. I don't think you'll ever see him do Halloween again. Hey, Cody, are you looking forward to the Justice League movie in a couple weeks? You are damn right I am looking forward to the Justice League movie. I am morbidly curious how it's going to turn out. You got Joss Whedon and you have Zack Snyder collaborating on a film without speaking to each other to a degree, as far as I can tell. and they couldn't be more different directors. So I hope it's going to be good. I really do. But I'll be there open at night. Why does New Nightmare get so much hate? Because it's not a straight up slasher movie. It's something that you have to think about. It's a little bit smarter of a movie than just a straight up slasher movie, so people don't like it. That's why. Rated R Deathstroke movie may happen to compete against Deadpool. Deathstroke would be an awesome movie. Rated R, I doubt it. Like I said, I don't think that the DCEU or anything going over there, I don't think they're in any hurry to slap rated R on anything just to make it rated R. I think that they're gonna be PG-13 for the most part. I have a tough time seeing the as a movie, The Long Halloween, with maybe more as a TV show. You're probably right. I mean, I'm just saying that there's storylines that are that dark. Yes, that's a very long storyline that could be like a good, like if it was a Netflix Batman show, it could be like a great season. So I agree. We need Blade back. Yes, we do. We need Blade back, and we need Wesley Snipes' Blade back. Get his ass off the couch. Come back, Daywalker. I think they did The Dark Knight as a movie already, I think. Well, The Dark Knight Returns, they took a lot of... they did it as an animated movie, but they took a lot of elements of that for Batman v Superman. So, you just see elements of that. But the straight up, like, a movie adaptation of that graphic novel, no, it hasn't happened yet. Disney ruined Star Wars. Hopefully they learn their lesson, won't ruin X-Men. I'm not so sure they've... Well, everyone's entitled to their opinion. I don't say that they've ruined Star Wars yet. I love The Force Awakens. I'm really looking forward to The Last Jedi. I was disappointed by Rogue One, and I'm disappointed in some of the directions they're taking as far as their standalone movies, like a Han Solo movie, an Obi-Wan movie, a Yoda movie, like all these people that we already know, and there's so many more stories they could tell, but we'll see. If The Last Jedi disappoints, I'll agree with you. If it's awesome, I'll say that they're still on a pretty good roll. Disney Marvel will let Deadpool continue. They know it'll make them money. He's the only exception to be rated R. I don't know. They're making plenty of money without Deadpool, so I don't think that they're going to be that worried about it. But maybe I'm wrong. I would be shocked, like floored, if this ever went through, and Disney actually bought Fox, that they would continue with the rated R Ryan Reynolds Deadpool. I would be shocked. Should have left Venom out of Spider-Man 3. I'm of the opposite opinion. See, Sony wanted Venom from the beginning. They told Sam Raimi, put Venom in your movie, make your movie about Venom. And he said, no, I want to do Sandman. And they argued and bickered back and forth and came up with some weird compromise, which as much as I love that movie, I will agree it's a weird compromise. I think Sam Raimi should have shut his mouth and just did Venom, because that's what the fans wanted, that's what Sony wanted, they're paying the bills, they're paying his salary, they're paying for the movie. I love what they did with Sandman, except for the fact that they retconned the Uncle Ben thing from the first movie. I've never liked that, but I would have much preferred just a straight-up Spider-Man and Venom movie. So, I'm on the opposite end of that. What did I think of the last Terminator movie? It was a fun mess. I mean, Terminator 1 and 2 are the only great ones, by far. I like Terminator Salvation more than most people. Terminator 3 is pretty decent. And Genesis it's a fun little weird thing where they kind of go back and retcon some stuff, and it's a fun little ride that I can enjoy watching, but it's a mess of a movie. If you would have asked me 5 years ago about this, I'd say hell yeah, but honestly after Days of Future Past, Deadpool and Logan, Fox is on an all-time high. Agreed. If you would have asked us after X-Men Last Stand and X-Men Origins Wolverine, yes, give it back to Marvel, take that shit. What's your thoughts on The Watchmen? I have not watched it in years, but I remember really liking that movie a lot. It's long as hell, but I remember really liking it. I'm actually a Zack Snyder fan. I think most of his movies are really good. Are the rumors the next Chucky movie coming out will be Chucky going to space true? I don't know, man. I'm willing to believe anything now with Don Mancini. You know, Don Mancini is so egotistical about being able to do whatever the hell he wants with Chucky, and nobody can stop him to a degree. So I don't know. I would not want to see Chucky go to space, but then again, I didn't want to see multiple Chuckies in Cult of Chucky, so nobody really cares what I want. Are the rumors that they're going to do it true? Not yet, because I don't think any rumors regarding where they're going with the Chucky 8 are valid right now, because they still don't know what money they're going to make off of Cult of Chucky. They had the thing leak. It's only been out for less than a month. If the movie hasn't made any money, they're not going to give the money for Chucky 8. So any story directions that you're hearing right now is just conjecture. Never knew Cody did these live chats. I haven't in a while. I haven't since I had 1,100 subscribers. I actually was just going to do a quick little video, but I like talking to you guys, so I was going to be a little bit more of an off-topic video than I originally thought. But I probably will do another live Q&A though when I hit 7,000. I just hit 6,000. Maybe I'll do it for 6,000. If I get bored this weekend or one night this week, I might do a Q&A. Keep an eye out. Wait, seriously? Seriously? Not yet. This is just a question mark. They're just talking about Disney buying Fox. There's like initial negotiations, or like somebody sent an email somewhere and somebody got a hold of it. So nothing confirmed yet. If the upcoming Batman is PG-13, hopefully they'll release a director's cut R version on DVD, similar to what they did with BVS. I don't think you're going to see too many more of these ultimate cuts with the rated R thing. I think they kind of learned their lesson with that, because people got pissed off of, why do I have a completely different movie that's way better and more fleshed out on Blu-ray that you didn't put in the theaters? Because they realized if they would have put even though it's 3 hours long and they would have had less screenings, the reception would have been way better if they put that ultimate cut in theaters. So I don't think they're going to do that anymore. Let me see. So scrolling. Sorry, I'm kind of going through quick, guys. There's a lot of these, so sorry if I don't get to your question. Your Texas Chainsaw 3D review is going to have a swear meter for sure because it's trash. It might. I don't know. I've only seen the movie once. The swear meter, I'm surprised I didn't do one for Seed of Chucky. I think I just didn't feel like counting how many times I was going to cuss in that review, because it probably would have beat my record. But yeah, it's I don't know. It might. It might. Gotta say, I agree with you on Child's Play 3. It kicks ass. You're damn right it does, man. Come on. People are too hard on Child's Play 3. Chucky X. Oh, God. Yeah. No. Don't do it. Huge fan of the Chucky movies. Agree big time on your top 2. Awesome. I've been subscribed for like 2 months now. Love your videos. You're awesome. Thank you. You are awesome. I enjoyed it. Leatherface became a hero of sorts. That's the issue I'm going to have with the movie. You will see that in my negatives, so keep an eye out for that. I'm not a fan of horror icons becoming unsung heroes or misunderstood. I don't like that at all. How would you rank the Star Wars movies? Okay, bottom going to the top is, a little bit of a confession. I've never seen Attack of the Clones. To this day, I have not seen Attack of the Clones. I have heard nothing but absolutely horrendous things about it. I've never had the interest after Phantom Menace. So I'm going to put that at the bottom, even though I might like it more than Phantom Menace, but who knows. So Attack of the Clones, Phantom Menace, Revenge of the Sith, Rogue One, The Force Awakens, A New Hope, Return of the Jedi, and Empire Strikes Back at the top. That's how I would rank it. Would Disney Marvel use Hugh Jackman as Wolverine in the MCU at this point? Hugh Jackman's done. Yeah, he's done as Wolverine. That wasn't like them firing him or then his contract running out. He's done Wolverine now for like, what, 18 years or something like that? I mean, the dude, he's done enough. So Logan, I don't want to, as much as I love Hugh Jackman as Wolverine, as much as I love that guy and everything he's done for that role, even in the bad movies, as much as I love Hugh Jackman, Logan was such a phenomenal ending for his version of that character. I don't want to see him come back. I want Logan to be the end, because otherwise it will taint how wonderful Logan was. The party has arrived. Ryan O'Toole. Where is my naked Black Widow? Damn it. Quit fucking around, Ryan. Isn't Hugh Jackman done as Wolverine, so why would they put him in the MCU? I see you. Alright, somebody answered me. Did you know that Hugh Jackman actually took a pay cut to make it an R rating? Not sure what him taking a pay cut makes the difference, but that's what he said. P.S. Love your channel. Thank you. I don't know. I never heard that, but it's probably because it was a smaller budget, smaller scale movie, so they knew that they weren't going to make quite as much money on it if they would if it was PG-13, so people took a pay cut because they wanted the artistic integrity of what they were going for with Logan. So if that's true, that's why. Team Marvel or DC? I like them both. I'm not a part of the you have to pick a side thing, but I will say that so far Marvel has done the better movies, but I prefer DC Comics a little bit more. So that's my answer to that. And that could change. DC, once they get their head out of their ass and start making some good movies like they did with Wonder Woman, you might see that change. I might be on DC camp on both of them as far as what I prefer, but I will always like both of them as long as they make good stuff. Who should play Tim Drake's Robin in the DCEU and Nightwing, or should they even be there? I would like them to be. I did a little script. For those of you guys that are interested, I did a video called Pitch Wars with Durbin from Durbania, where we pitched our own DCEU movie, and mine was a Batman movie, and I cast who did I cast as Nightwing? I cast Jake Gyllenhaal as Nightwing, and Tim Drake I didn't have in it actually, but I cast what the hell is the guy named? The Maze Runner guy, Dylan O'Brien as Robin. I'm blanking on his damn name now. The one that gets killed. I know his damn name, but I'm blanking on it right now. Who should play Tim Drake? I have no idea. But I think Jake Gyllenhaal. I mean, there's a million awesome young actors that could play either one of them. Hugh said he'd only come back as Logan if he could be in an Avengers movie. By the time that happens, I don't think he'll come back. Blade, the Puppet Master. That's another movie I'm going to be reviewing this month. Watched it for the first time. And we have some weird troll. Off topic, there's a new horror anthology series coming out, and John Carpenter is directing the first episode. Didn't know that. That's cool. I'll have to look into that. Love your channel. Keep up the awesome work. Thank you. Need a Jar Jar movie. Jar Jar movie soon. No. They need a Robin the Boy Wonder movie. 100% Deadpool will go on Disney-owned Dimension Films a long time ago. Disney's a different beast now. So I doubt it. But I could be wrong. I just hope Robin makes it to the DCEU. Me too. We've gone too long without a Robin. You can do Robin well. Are you doing Hatchet 3? Is Hatchet 4 coming out? I am doing Hatchet 3 this month. That's another patron request. Hatchet 4, I think it's called Victor Crowley. I don't know when it's coming out. I'm not sure when to look out for that. But I'll do a review for that when it comes out too. And I'll wait till after Victor Crowley comes out to do a ranking of the Hatchet movies. What did I think of the Amazing Spider-Man movies? Not a fan. Amazing Spider-Man 1's decent, but it's a lot of retreading and doing lateral moves from the Sam Raimi Spider-Man, which aggravated me. I've never been one to jump up and down about Andrew Garfield. I think he's good in the movie, but I always liked the other Peter Parker. What the hell's his name? Man, I'm blanking on names left and right. Tobey Maguire. Always liked him more. Amazing Spider-Man 2, I didn't like at all. What would be the new title of the Blade movie be called if you could name it? Blade 4. I'm back, bitches. That's what I'd title it right there. Hatchet 4 is coming out, not sure when. Both Nightwing and Robin. Did I enjoy Man of Steel? I love Man of Steel. Do you watch Gotham? Nope, no interest. Venom movie. Me and Cody are on the same page. Spider-Man 3. I'm not sure what that is, buddy. T3 has some fun action sequences. Yeah, I mean, there's no Terminator movie that I hate. They're all pretty enjoyable, but 1 and 2 are on a different level. Have you seen the movie The Guest? Yes, I've seen it. I need to watch it again. I remember liking it. I don't remember the third act really loving that one too much, but I remember it being a pretty cool movie. What do I think about the Venom film coming out next year? Morbidly curious about it. I don't know how you're going to do a Venom movie with no Spider-Man, but it's got Tom Hardy. It's got Tom Hardy, so it's got my money. Are you a fan of Jeepers Creepers? That's a hot button issue. I love the first movie. Take all the Victor Salva shit out of it. I'm not discussing that, and that has nothing to do with my answer. I love the first movie. Not a huge fan of the second movie. Morbidly curious about the third movie. And I'll probably review all 3 of them when the third one comes out. Who should play them? Oh my God. Thank you for answering my question about your dog bites. Nice to see YouTubers actually speaking to their fans. Yes, I'll always, no matter how big I get, guys, I'm always going to be there talking to you guys. You're the reason why I do this. There's no point in having a YouTube channel if you just want to put your face out there and spew some thoughts out and not interact with anybody. I don't see the point of that. Excited about Venom? I answered that. Colt was awful. I interviewed him a decade ago, and today everything he stated is fact. If Cody Leach is the best YouTuber, give me a hell yeah. Hell yeah, hell yeah. Fiona Dorff has said the next Chucky movie will not be Chucky in space. I honestly think that was a joke, but I wouldn't put it past him. What happened to Bride being your fave? I had finally found someone who agrees, but then Nope 2 is your new fave. If I'm being deadly honest, Child's Play 2 and Bride are basically tied for first. I love both of those movies almost equally, but on a ranking video, you had to pick one. I picked Bride whenever I did the collab with Adam from Almost Sideways because I hadn't revisited the movies in a while, and I've always been somebody that's so defensive over Bride because people shit on it left and right, and I love that movie that I wanted to put it as number 1 because I love Child's Play 2, but Bride is awesome. I love Bride so much, but when I rewatched the movies, like I said in my ranking, something about Child's Play 2 revisiting that, I'm just like, man, this is a perfect movie. This is a perfect Chucky movie, a perfect sequel, a perfect slasher. I mean, there's just nothing that, and I watched it twice before I even reviewed it. So just, if you ask me today, it's Child's Play 2. If you ask me tomorrow, it's Bride of Chucky. That's how close those movies are. So for all intents and purposes, you can call them a tie. Cody's the shit. Thanks for all the great stuff. You're welcome. What do you think of a Resident Evil reboot? if they're going to follow the storyline and the characters of the video games, I'm all for it. If it's going to be some other like side Elseworld stories, I couldn't care less, because this is what pisses me off so much about video game adaptations. You always see them divert from the video games in the story. We're going to go in a different direction, and we're going to do something new, and it's going to have the spirit of Resident Evil. Fuck the spirit. I want the story. I want the storyline that I went through in that mansion with fucking Wesker and Chris and Jill and all the unfolding plot of that. I want that in a movie. I don't want your version of all these characters fighting zombies for 90 minutes. So, I know James Wan is supposedly like producing this or something like that, which doesn't mean much because he could come in and say, all right, good job, guys, and be a producer. But we'll see. Logan would have been better if Disney did it. I'm sure, Tyler. Are you wearing a shirt right now? Yes or no? What's worse, Freddy's Dead or Seed of Chucky? Freddy's Dead. Freddy's Dead's way worse, in my opinion. Big fan of your channel. Can you tell me your thoughts on what you think of Thor Ragnarok? I actually just saw it this afternoon. I'll give a couple quick little thoughts because I am going to do a review for it. I enjoyed the movie. It still has a little bit of that Marvel vanilla kind of formula where they do the same things, but it's like if they took Thor and put him in a Guardians of the Galaxy movie. So all the things that I like about Guardians of the Galaxy, I like about this movie. There's definitely... Marvel has an extremely predictable brand of humor now, so all the punchlines, all the jokes I saw coming a mile away. That's probably my main negative with a couple others, but I enjoyed it. It'll get a positive review. Tim Burton do a new Batman. Not a Tim Burton fan, so speaking of the wrong choir. Swear meter would be hilarious. I've done it. I did it on my... it was like kind of a gimmick I was doing for the worst movies that I've seen. So I did it on the Bye Bye Man review. I did it on Freddy's Dead. Might have been one more. I can't remember, but I have done it. I didn't do it on Seed of Chucky just because, I don't know. I think I was debating on not doing the swear meter anymore because I've had one person tell me the swear meter ruined the review, and I've had nobody like say that the swear meter was awesome. So now that everybody loves it, maybe I'll bring it back. Child's Play 3 was the first I've seen as a child. Me too. The first horror movie I've ever seen. Reviews Seed of Chucky, that would be hilarious. You can do an actual curse count. I did do a review for it. Hey Cody, what's up? What's up, man? What's up, man? Love the channel. Thank you. Oh God, I hated Texas Chainsaw 3D. What's worth? Freddy's Dead answered that. What do you think about the new Halloween score? The one with Trent Reznor, I didn't really care for it. How do I get a collab? Just wondering, is there any way to contact you? I'm not too big on collabs, man. It has nothing to do with anybody's channel. It's just collabs are so much work as far as scheduling the time that you're both going to record, getting the footage and the data and the thumbnails to each other and getting everything straight and choosing an upload date and the editing that's involved with it. So I'm very kind of few and far between with my collabs right now. So it's probably not going to be something I'm interested in for a while. I got way too much stuff that I have to do just on my own as far as other franchises, as far as my Patreon requests this month, other ideas that I have. So I'm extremely busy with the little bit of time that I have working a full-time job and having 3 kids. So collabs are kind of out for me for the time being. Not missing anything with Attack of the Clone, man. I'm going to scroll for a little while, guys. I'm sorry. I must be crazy behind, so all right. Love your videos, Cody. So amazing. You actually interact with the fans. So many YouTubers just ignore the fans. Yeah, I can't stand when people do that. It drives me nuts. Like if I like a channel and I find that no matter how many times I comment on a video or anything like that and I never get any interaction whatsoever, it actually makes me like the channel less because it just drives me nuts. Are you a fan of American Horror Story? No. I liked the first season a lot. Didn't care much for the second season. Didn't like the third season at all. Didn't get through the fourth season. Watched the first episode of season 5, didn't like it. Watched the first episode of season 6, didn't like it, so I gave up on the show. Do you agree with Lee and love Halloween 4? I like Halloween 4. I don't love it. I didn't grow up with it. I don't have the nostalgia and the love that Lee did because he saw it in theaters. And, I mean, if it was an experience like that I had, I probably would have it a lot higher on my list. But to me, watching it for the first time a little over a year ago, it's just kind of a lesser retread of a lot of things in the first movie with some good things that are about it, but especially the mask. I can't stand the mask, so I like Halloween 4, but I don't love it. I don't care if you guys hate me. The Friday the 13th remake is the best Friday the 13th. The rest suck. I don't 100% agree with that, but I about 93% agree with that. I'm going to be doing the Friday the 13th series next. I'm not going to say a date when, because I'm just going to, it's whenever I get time to start it. It's a long franchise, so I've kind of been dreading doing it, but everybody's begging me to do it, so I'm definitely doing that one next because everybody wants me to, and I want to give you guys what you want. But I think the Friday the 13th remake is really good, and I think that a lot of the criticisms toward it baffles me because most of the Friday the 13th movies are not that great as far as quality, so it's weird to me how you can praise, like, Friday the 13th Part 3, but shit on the remake. It's weird. But I'll get into all that in my reviews, and maybe when I watch it this time around, I will come around and change my opinion of some of those movies. If you could be in any slasher movie as a killer or victim, which film would you pick? Potential victim, or definite victim, like I absolutely have to die. Potential victim, I'll be in a Chucky movie because I can outrun his little ass. But oh man, that's a hard one. None of them. I don't know. If I want to be a killer, I guess I'll be Michael Myers because he's the only one who's a human. Otherwise, you're a zombie or you're burned up or you're fucking 1.5 feet tall. Hey man, all film are subjective. I agree. I don't know if that was in response to something I said, but I agree. Are you looking forward to the Black Panther movie? Yes, it does look pretty awesome. Let's see. What do I think of the Anaconda series? I've only seen the first one. I don't remember much about it. If Hollywood made these movies, would you rather watch Star Wars versus Star Trek or Jason versus Michael Myers? Jason versus Michael Myers. I love Star Wars and I like Star Trek, but that would be a weird versus. Yeah, I don't do them either. I assume you mean collabs. Yeah, I mean, I've done a lot of collabs in the past, and I'm definitely not saying I won't do one in the future, but the most recent ones that I've done have been very labor intensive, and they don't really net that many views, honestly. They're fun to do. I will always do, collabs with some of my friends on here, like, that I've done a ton of collabs with, like Durbin, Sean Chandler, Drum Dums. I'll always do collabs with those guys, but as far as, like, random collabs with people I don't know or different channels and stuff like that, it's no disrespect to that guy or that channel, but it just it doesn't make sense for me to do it right now. What the fuck? They bought Star Wars, and how are you? I'm doing good. Yeah, they're gonna own everything. And in like 20 years, Disney will own the fucking earth. Batman Arkham Asylum movie based on the video game. Yeah, that'd be interesting. Thoughts on the Lion King remake? I'm curious about it. I like the Jungle Book a lot. I'll take a few more, guys, then I'm going to head out. It's about 38 minutes in. I expected this to be a 5-minute video, so I've enjoyed talking with you. I got to do some stuff around the house, though. Kind of out there, have you ever thought of doing a top 10 kills for horror icons? I actually filmed a top 5 or a top 10 kills for Jason for Friday the 13th, but it was right after I had my little incident with the dog bite. And I thought it wasn't going to bother me too much, but when I looked at the video, it just looked so bad because it was fresh, and I had the stitches, and everything was red and kind of swollen that I deleted the video. So I didn't want to, I didn't like the way that I looked. But will I do it in the future? I'm sure once I get most of these franchises knocked out, I'll start doing little impromptu top 5s and top 10s and stuff like that. What happened to your nose? A dog bite. It blows my mind that people still don't know what happened. I've put it on like every video I've made in the past month. What do you think Andy Barkley has got himself locked in the asylum? How would that help him? Because his character was written to be a fucking moron in Cult of Chucky. His plan was to put a gun in a random Chucky doll that he either thought he was going to be able to access by walking freely in this asylum, or Chucky would possess it and come and get him, which he had no knowledge that Chucky had that power. Then he pulls the gun out, empties his entire fucking clip into that Chucky doll, leaving himself without a weapon, and then gets locked in the asylum. Spoiler alert if you haven't seen Cult of Chucky, but Andy's a fucking idiot. One of the few that actually like Halloween 3. You're damn right. Alright, I'm going to take 5 more. Is it official that Disney's buying Fox? No, it's not official. Just talks. P.S. Great videos. Thank you. Have you ever done a Candyman series? No, I actually have never seen any of the Candyman movies. I've seen pieces of a few of them. I've never sat down and watched a whole one. What's better, Jason X or Seed of Chucky? Jason X, in my opinion, because it's at least knows that it's stupid, and it's playing and having fun with the fact that it's stupid. Seed of Chucky thinks that it's a great sequel, and it's not. And it just ruins everything about Chucky. Since Disney's in talks to buying Fox, we'll probably get an Avengers versus X-Men. That would pretty be damn cool. That'd be a loaded ass movie. Okay, so I think Chucky should just end or be done right or kick out Don because he's fucking up the film. See, that's the thing. Don Mancini has written this entire franchise, so you have to give respect to him to a degree. I mean, he had a lot of heavy rewrites in the first movie. But for the most part, he's written all the movies that we know and love. Child's Play 2, Bride of Chucky, and everything like that. But as far as when he has full control, he's the writer and the director, and he basically answers to almost nobody. The movies have taken a serious dip. I like Curse of Chucky. I think it's overrated, but I like it. Hate Seed, did not like Cult at all. So he's, you know, he's like, kind of like 3/4 of a point out of 3. Who's better, Jason or Michael Myers? I like Michael Myers better. Jason looks a little bit cooler and he has some cooler kills, but as far as like the movies, I like the Halloween movies a little bit better. Jason versus Michael, who would win? Jason, because he's immortal and a zombie, and Michael is supposed to be human to some degree. At least it depends on what movie you kind of believe is the lore. All right, one more, guys. Let me find one that I want to talk about real quick. Have you seen Wishmaster 1 and 2? I have seen Wishmaster 1 a long time ago. I rented it under the pretense, somebody telling me that Robert Englund was in it, and I thought he was playing the Wishmaster. I thought it was some new, like, Freddy Krueger character. And obviously, if you know the storyline of that movie and what is actually involved with it, it extremely disappointed me that that wasn't it. But I haven't seen it since it first came out, so I have really no opinion of it. All right, one last one, because this is a big one. If you could write a sequel to any horror film, what series would you choose, and what would be a good story? As far as what the story would be, I can't tell you off the top of my head, but I'd write a Nightmare on Elm Street sequel, because they obviously don't know what the fuck they're doing with it. I would probably take it back and bring some Dream Warriors elements into it. I would bring it back into the Dream Warriors type of setup where Freddy is just alive at the beginning. There's no resurrection. There's no explanation for what happened after the remake or after Freddy's dead or anything like that and how he's back. You're into it. Freddy's alive. Move on. He's alive. He never died. So I would have that approach. And I would just focus on awesome kills and casting a really good, inspired person that knows what to bring to Freddy Krueger. That's what I would do. All right, that's it, guys. So 42 minutes of a video on Disney buying potentially Fox that maybe I spent 5 minutes out of 42 minutes actually talking about that subject. So if you stuck with me for this long, thank you. Thank you for all the questions. Like I said, I'll probably do another one of these little live Q&As, so look out for that, because I was planning on doing one at 5,000 and then I hit 6,000 before I knew it. So I will do a Q&A. I will do one. Whether it's this week or not, it's just going to depend on my time. But keep an eye out for it. I don't know if I'll make an announcement or if you'll just see the notification pop up, but I will do a live Q&A, and we'll do something like this. It's a little bit more formal for an actual Q&A. So thank you guys for hanging out. Hopefully I answered all of your questions to a good degree. Thank you for checking out the video. For everybody that's watching this after it actually posts, what are your thoughts on Disney potentially buying Fox and buying the X-Men and Star Wars, or getting the rights to the original 6 Star Wars movies, getting the rights to use the X-Men characters and the like Deadpool and Fantastic Four? What is all your thoughts on that? Post those in the comment section below, guys. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button if you're not already a subscriber. I got a lot of cool content. There's a lot of horror content at the, currently, but there's a lot of comic book content too. So check all that stuff out, guys. And if you want to check out some more of my videos, as always, you can check it out by clicking right over here. See you, everybody.